I've always said like Busquets, just like the way he's just so calm and composed on the ball when he was Barcelona, and now it's really cool that he's in the league here.
Did you get to kick him yet? Did you kick him this year at all?
I'm not sure if I got to kick him. I remember he kicked me last year. Well, I wasn't too upset about that. It's pretty cool.
We're joined by a young star, someone who has helped their club get into the Eastern Conference Finals, and might have had 10 years ago, we knocked the New York Red Bulls out of the Eastern Conference Finals, the New England Revolution, to get to the MLS Cup final. But we're joined by Daniel Edelman. Congrats. Welcome. How do you feel?
Thank you, guys. No, I'm super happy to be on the show with y'all. And yeah, still riding a bit of a high right now after Saturday's match. Really special feeling.
So talk to me about this match, because I feel like this is something every athlete craves, an ultimate rivalry in the playoffs. You're playing New York City FC. They've gotten the best of you as of late in league play, but you get the job done when it matters most. What went into that match? What were some of the thoughts throughout for you personally?
Yeah, it was definitely tough 2 games during the regular season. I think definitely the 5-1 loss sat with us a little more before this playoff match, especially individually for myself. I was the captain that game, and definitely the biggest defeat for us against them and doing it at home. So we definitely wanted to give our fans a performance to remember, and we took into account all the things that didn't go our way in both matches during the regular season and really tried to change it up and limit their attacking players. And it seemed to work on the weekend, and just super stoked because it kind of feels like we wrote the wrong a little bit.
You know, Daniel, sometimes when you see things on TV and obviously being on the field, you get a different perspective. I was telling somebody earlier, obviously I watch your guys' games. I never felt like as even in the moments where NYC was starting to take control of the game, I didn't feel like you guys were in desperate trouble. I didn't feel like you guys were going to lose this match. I felt like you as a group, the way you play, felt in control of this thing. Did you get that sense on the field?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think we're just a bunch of dogs on the field. Like, it might not be pretty sometimes with the ball, but even when they would break us down, it kind of felt like we had everything under control. And we're so sound with the 5 in the back, and then having the 2 CDMs in front. They definitely moved us side to side. New York City is very good at making rotations out of midfield, and it's hard to track the runner. But I think in those pressure moments, you could see when as the game was coming to an end, they were really starting to push everything forward. But I was never worried. I have so much trust in all of our guys, and Carlos Coronel made some really big saves down the stretch.
So I know you guys are playing Orlando, and you've had I felt like the better play in terms of when you've competed against Orlando this season. But I want to talk about you personally. It seems like you're a perfect example of being a late bloomer. You came onto the scene, but you've gotten so much better with the ball at your feet and the commanding presence in midfield, anticipating balls, but your distribution. I saw you play in the U20 World Cup, and I thought you really stood out. You really impressed me, and I think you impressed everyone around the country. You should be proud of that performance. But how have you progressed? How have you felt your game progress? How did you feel you stood out across players in your position across the world?
No, I think it's been a little bit of a bumpy ride for me. I think definitely wasn't seen as someone that can control a game with the ball, and kind of just looked at as, oh, he'll blow up plays and just going to be a defensive machine. And that's what I have my foundation of my game on, I think. Just being a commanding presence on the field, covering the ground and getting the ball to the attacking players, but somewhere that I've wanted to elevate. And I think Sandro and the team this year has really helped me flourish on the ball, and finding Emile and finding Lewis and really playing direct and being calm and composed on the ball when we get it. And I think that's helped the team in general as well. Emile's definitely allowed for players like myself and other guys to have more time on the ball because they're focused on him. But I think, yeah, for me, the U20 year was a great year, and could really see myself taking more strides with the Red Bulls. And I think this year, like being able to wear the captain armband for a few games, and kind of this is the most games I've played in a season this year so far. I think it's just another step for me, because I just want to keep going and keep making a run here.
a late bloomer, ups and downs, wearing the armband for Red Bull, and 21 years old, Charlie. It all goes together, doesn't it? It's incredible what you've been able to do. So do you want to late bloom your way? Do you think about late blooming your way into January national team camp? Is that what we're doing here at 21? Like, is that something that's on the schedule for you?
Yeah, honestly, I don't mind the late bloomer nickname. I think that's actually pretty good. That's definitely would be an honor for sure. I'm locked in on fighting for the MLS Cup right now and focusing on the Eastern Conference Final, but definitely got my hopes and dreams for senior national team someday. Yeah.
So you were on the U20 team, you crushed it. How much of it was a blow that you didn't make the Olympic team? Like, was that a setback? Did you feel like you were going to get an opportunity to make that team? And how did you persevere? Because it seems like you're only getting stronger. Where a lot of players, they take that as a setback, and it's tough to mentally get out of it, right? To see the future, to see the horizon. And it seems like you said, hey, I'm going to use this as motivation to keep going.
For sure. I was really thankful for my time with the U20 team and Mikey Barras and the group that we built and the team that we put out in Argentina. It was an incredible moment, incredible time there. And then I think I had a great start to the season, worked my way into the March Olympic camp. And yeah, it was definitely unfortunate that I didn't get selected for the team. I was super hungry and driven to try and make that roster. It was definitely going to be a tough one to make, but yeah, just use it as motivation now. I have so much respect for Marco and that team. They really impressed out there. All those guys, quality players. I was super happy for my guy Tolkien to be there, and he had a great tournament. Really loved watching him play. But I think, yeah, I constantly use the motto of just chip on the shoulder every game. Sometimes you take a look at me and you don't see a guy that can get around the field and get into tackles. I'm not the tallest guy, not the biggest, and I definitely like to use that to my advantage. Like my looks might not be appealing, and I think that really helps me sometimes.
I would have tested you for sure. I would have put a little shoulder and see what you got. I know. I've seen it. You can give it back, so that would have been a good test.
You'd have given Charlie a little nudge. He'd have been on the ground in a second.
I'm holding my shin as soon as he touches
me. You're rolling around. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm wasting time. We got the lead.
I love asking young players, like, who do you model your game around? Who are guys growing up that you said, like, I like this player, that player? Because everyone has their guys, right? And you try and do certain things, and sometimes it works, sometimes they don't. But who are the guys like in world football now that you watch and go and pick pieces out of those players?
I mean, I was the biggest Steven Gerrard fan when I was younger. It was my first jersey. I love watching him play. Thought he was so clean on the ball, and you wouldn't be afraid to get stuck in. And always dream of having his top of the box volleys. I've yet to have one of those, but those are
it'll come.
Too. Yeah. But in like today's modern world football, I think I've always said like Busquets, just like the way he's just so calm and composed on the ball when he was Barcelona, and now it's really cool that he's in the league here.
Did you get to kick him yet? Did you kick him this year at all?
I'm not sure if I got to kick him. I remember he kicked me last year. Well, I wasn't too upset about that. It's pretty cool.
So we always have a tradition on this podcast about asking current players or former players, what was your favorite jersey swap? What would it be for you? Have you had that moment yet? Are you a jersey swapper per se? Because it feels like everyone's got a good story up until this point.
No, I mean, I've been jersey swapping with all my U20 boys. Like I loved. I got Diego Luna's jersey when we played them at Salt Lake. We lost 3-1 that game. Definitely wasn't a good game for Red Bull, but I just enjoyed getting his jersey because I've been roommates with him on like all U20 trips, and he's just the best guy and love being around him. But I guess there'll be more to come for sure.
You got to get Busquets now.
I know the Miami guys. I know it's try to get his for sure.
Where are you in that dressing room with regards to, you're still young, right? Who are the guys you lean on in that dressing room? Are you a vocal guy in that dressing room? Are you the guy that's a little bit more reserved? And are you a guy like to go to Dante Van Zier and say, you know what, you got to shave that mustache that you got going for the play? Like, are you that guy, or are you just a guy that's just doing your
I'm
thing
gonna
every
have to
day.
let him know you said that. Wow.
I love it, by the way. I love it for the playoffs.
The first captain for New York Red Bulls said, "You got to shave that thing."
But it's working though, right? It's working.
No, it's working. He thought he was offside, he said, for a goal, and he wasn't offside, and he just swiped and scored. But where are you with that? Like, and who are the guys that you lean on?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think this year especially, I've taken steps into a more vocal leadership role. For me, it's always just been lead by example and do the dirty work on the field, and everybody will see, like, wow, this guy's here. He's ready to play. But, like, the guys like Sean Nealis has been a great voice. Ryan Mayer's been with the club for a long time, and he knows the ins and out of everything, and you can always go to him for help. And Lewis and now Emil bringing in, they've had international experience. That's been awesome. And I think especially in my position, I've had some great players that I played alongside. Christian Cáceres, Frankie Amaya, Drew Yearwood, and now Felipe's coming this year. Peter and Ronnie have done amazing as well with the game time that they've gotten. I think it's been a great position for all of us to learn from each other, and we've really meshed well, I think, this season late on.
So looking at this Orlando Eastern Conference Final, where do you guys feel that you have the edge?
I think just our mentality and the way we press, that will forever be like what we lean back on in our philosophy. And I think that's something that, we won 1-0 at home this season, JMI's free kick, which was stunning, and then tied 1-1 away. But I think, they're going to be very skillful up top, and they're going to be dangerous, and they're going to try to get the ball wide, cross the ball in the box, and we just got to be ready for another fight. I think it's going to be a little different than NYCFC. That was definitely more of a war, especially because it's a derby game, but it's still going to be a big battle. It's an Eastern Conference Final, and we haven't been there since 2018, so we just got to be ready for everything and look, just to do all we can.
And by the way, Charlie, I checked already for their press. It's not going to be too hot in Orlando. It's between 58 and 70, so it's perfect for pressing. Just so you know, Daniel, I did your homework for you.
That couldn't be better. I've been down there when it was like 90, feels like 110 with the humidity. Oof.
Yeah.
No, we'll be ready to make a few extra runs then.
What has Sandro Schwartz done for you as a player so far?
I think just the start of the season, just giving me the confidence and bravery to get on the ball in tight areas that I don't think I was used to in 2023. And he's just done such a great job. And even just like separate individual film sessions before, after training, and really just trying to dissect, what it takes to eventually get to the next level as well. And for me, I think it's just been a great year because I've also had the surrounding environment and coaching staff and the players on the field that will allow me to, take next steps and develop.
So you have some Europeans around you, right? Sandro Schwartz, Emil Forsberg. In your mind, is Europe where you want to go? Is that the destination?
Yeah, ever since I was a little kid, it's been Europe. That's definitely the dream where football's played at. It's I'm not going to shy away from that. It's something that I'm sticking to and that I want to get to someday. But the Red Bulls have done an incredible job helping me grow and helping me transform the player I am today, and just want to continue to keep performing and try to make some history.
Well, you're a late bloomer, so keep it going. Yep. When's your contract up?
Keep blooming.
When's your contract up?
Got a few years.
Okay, you got a few years.
We'll be here,
perfect time. Hey, perfect time. One more big season, you're gone. We want to thank you so much for joining us on the show. Your inaugural podcast day with us. So keep grinding, keep becoming that late bloomer. All the best for us, Orlando, and thanks again.
I love that. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.